It's Thursday. You know what that means. Time for another 420 draft here on the Splash Play channel. And of course, we're doing it once again on Drafters. We're competing for $500K to first place. I got to say, guys, and I try to be, I'm probably more sensitive to this than I play the part of here on stream. I did not think enough about this thumbnail on Juneteenth, so my bad. Because I know we have a lot of people in the audience who are people of color, so did not think of that. But Shador got busted this week, so that's on him for making the thumbnail today. But we got a cop car behind Shador. We got me with a joint here, and we got the drafters room filling right away. So we got me in the 10 hole, lots of time to pick. Some familiar names here. I am the KY, Up Dog in here. Chewy Braden in here. Not Team Skank, know that. Everybody else, never draft RBs sounds like somebody I would like, even if they're not in particular a Splash Play viewer. But we'll see what we get here on Drafters. You guys know the deal. It's a 420 draft. So let's spark one up, see what we can do. I just drafted a really clean team on DraftKings on Stochastic, so I'm feeling good about things. But now we'll see what we do in draft number 2 here. There we go. What is a weed coming through the mouthpiece immediately? Tough scene. All right, there we go. Now we're inhaling. Shouts to the chat. We got our all yes. We got Steve here, laughing presumably at my inappropriate thumbnail choices. Afternoon Spags the chat though. You know it's still not the worst thumbnail / title I've put up this year. So I've got that going for me. Spark one for Shador. Yes, indeed. Do I have a reload code for drafters? There was one, which is not an official one this year. But there was one called Splash 50 before that would give you a bonus if you were reloading. I don't know if it still exists, but if you are a new user, you do get the promo code Splash on there. So check it out at Drafters. It's Stochastic. I always click the wrong one. Promo code Splash on Drafters, $100 deposit match. Of course, their big tournament today, the Drafters main event championship has $500K to first place, which is a big thing on here. And a couple of years ago, I finished top 100 in this tournament. Last year, finished top 10 in their playoff best ball version of it. So feel good about my Drafters run out generally, but certainly here, hoping to make our money last, go further. It's always a goal on Drafters. All right, there we go. Oh, I hate when the dog sits up next to me as though she's judging me for this. I'm sorry, dog. Your mom doesn't want to watch you right now. So you have to be hotbox. She's not being hotbox for the record, but you know the deal. Kitty in here next to me, the giant dog who grows by the day. Got so much time before we pick the 10 hole. So I guess I'll just get baked in the meantime. No really exciting news. Cam Scadaboo signed his rookie deal, so hopefully he'll start practicing, would be my hope. For Scadaboo, he's fallen in like every room right now. He and Travis Hunter seem to be your two biggest rookie fallers currently because of the fact that number one for Travis Hunter, the DB stuff is coming up again. People concerned about how much he'll be playing on offense, even though all the signals so far has been they're going to play him a lot on offense. I've seen Hunter fall to the late 50s in rooms lately. He might have a really low price tag depending on how OTAs or how training camp starts to run out in July. For Travis Hunter, I'm still cool taking him, but I think there's a world where he falls to like the 60 range because people are like really worried about him playing DB. He's a good enough receiver to take the shot, but I get that fall. For Scadaboo, though, the bet's the same. He's got to beat out Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy played pretty well last year, but certainly wasn't a world beater with how he did. I think you take them both in different builds, different teams. Take them both together in some teams if you want, especially if Scadaboo gets cheap. But Scadaboo, I think, could have a little bit of a price floor coming up at some point. We got Christian McCaffrey here at pick 10. He normally goes around 8 on Drafters, so I'll go RB here. We do want to reward ourselves or really try to give ourselves a shot at payoffs more on Drafters with those median projection outcomes. So taking an RB here like McCaffrey feels fine because I don't think I was going to get Genty and Derrick Henry back. Maybe would have. What are you doing? No. Oh, God's sake, come on. Sneaking in on me. Here you go. Here's Kitty. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks. Kitty unplugging things on the way out here. But now I'm dog free in the room, so I can do what I got to do. Thank you. We got Genty and Achan here. So they both came back. A McCaffrey Genty start feels pretty unique. I'm going to do that. All right, so Genty, McCaffrey here. Also, Alex could not have been more judgmental about coming into the room and it's smelling of weed, but she doesn't know it's a 420 stream. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Unbelievable. Yeah, she doesn't know I'm high. She just saw Alex coming in because Alex has no regard for stream time. pops in and out when she wants. Shout out to all you guys hanging out here again. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing new streams. I think I'm going to start adding a Wednesday marathon stream in the afternoon. So stay tuned here, but please subscribe down below with the like button. And the work is just starting off here for the summer of best ball, more to come. And I'm even bringing my laptop on vacation the first week of July because I got to do some streams that week too. So stay tuned here. Going to be strapping in for the stretch. I've been trying to bide my time on stream a little bit because I, just feel like the space is really oversaturated right now. I've talked about this on stream a little bit. But I am planning to run more in July and August. It's not just going to be me half-assing my way the entire summer. Now that NBA season's finally done, now that I think people are going to start to stream a little bit less because people don't have the wherewithal to stick with it all summer. Not your top guys, but some other people out there. That's my hope at least. So we'll see. But either way, there's going to be more coming for me July and August. We are in the home stretch, boys. Even though it doesn't feel like it, now we got like 2 months left of drafting season. When it starts in January, it just feels totally different. But we got what we got. And that's a lot of RBs right now. This McCaffrey Gentry start, I'll tell you what. Gentry, I really think he might be in for a little bit of a fall this summer too, because the summer groups never like rookies as much as the early drafters do. Oh my God, there's so much smoke coming off the joint. It's like I can see the camera just filling up with smoke as I go. So I apologize. I feel really silly when it's doing that. Summer drafters like rookies a little bit less. Gentry has been going safely 8, 9, 10 for months. There might be a shot that Gentry falls past like Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane. That wouldn't be crazy. And that is one of the things that we do talk about in stream a little bit. For you guys out there, especially you guys who are plugging away a lot of drafts early, don't start reaching too much for guys. Don't start moving things too much around early on in drafts because like you might have people who like tried to reach for Gentry, try to get unique that way, where they took McCaffrey and Gentry. I don't know. I don't know if they would have done that. Would have been stupid. But there's going to be a point now where McCaffrey might go 5, 6, 7 spots later. You can absorb him potentially in the late teens, pick 20. And guys too, who get an injury during camp, like could fall as well. Just you don't want to start reaching for unique combos too much is the main thing because like they're going to happen naturally. And this McCaffrey Gentry start maybe would have happened the inverse way very early in draft cycles. So I don't think it's terribly unique, but it definitely didn't happen the McCaffrey first Gentry way until right now in my eye. All right. We're taking some hits. Like to re-inhale the wafting smoke. It was too much smoke. I think like, I'm already sacrificing the veneer of professionalism on the stream every day with this. Though I do think it's silly that we treat weed as different. Like if I had a glass of wine on stream right now, like I wouldn't feel like, like I'm the bad boy. I'm doing something, not supposed to do. For some reason with weed, it's like, we're doing something that's like illicit here. And I don't think that should be right. If I had a wine glass and a thumbnail, I'd feel less like a dirtbag. That's not fair. We got to take, at some point, we have to take receivers, no? I think that's how this goes. So I am going to go up and get Mike Evans here. Think that he balances out an RB heavy start pretty well for me fairly often. If Mike Evans gets hurt, all my 2 RB start teams are probably going to die because I feel like he is legit the first receiver I get very often in those builds. But Evans to me, guy who's put up 1,000-yard seasons over and over again. We saw him actively chase it down the stretch last year. I think it's going to be the case again this year. And I think really too, this is probably like your last year of it being, Mike Evans being, and Chris Godwin being the peak of their powers or as close to it as they can be. So I'm okay with that. Xavier Worthy here, Josh Allen here. Who makes this team better? I think Josh Allen does. We would have Baker Mayfield available, and Baker did score pretty closely to Josh Allen last year. But I'm going to go Josh Allen here. Again, we're not starting receiver heavy enough. I just don't think that Xavier Worthy, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf as my wide receiver 2 makes this team appreciably better. But I think for drafters, I think Allen makes this team a lot more live in total points format, especially. Like I think for pod format, I think going Worthy there would make sense. For total points format, just getting a guaranteed or a seemingly guaranteed 400 DK or 400 fantasy points seems like the move. I think one thing that's been skewing me, there's this thing I saw actually on Pete's Discord, which I'm going to pull up in a different tab. Hold on. But it's been on my brain a little bit because it does kind of relate to best ball and the Vegas ways. So it's this game where you're trying to build the best possible version of a fantasy team based on the greatest players ever and which teams you're getting. So you can see it here. It's NFLperry.com/game mode. I'll drop it in the chat here. And basically what you're doing, we have the Jets. I'm not going to do that because the Jets have no players that were actually good over the course of time. All right, so we got the Saints. So like, who's our best Saints player ever? Probably like an Alvin Kamara year, I think. So Alvin Kamara, 378 points. Panthers, we got Christian McCaffrey, who had that 470-point year for the Panthers. Dolphins have nobody that good, but we have the Tyreek Hill year a couple years ago. You're going to see my point in a moment here, how we're balancing this team. Chargers, we have the famous LaDainian Tomlinson year. Commanders, for the record, I've played this game a lot, so that's why I know this like the back of my hand right now. Jaden Daniels, we have a QB. Again, that's the best commander we're going to get. Would have liked to have done it a different way. Titans, Chris Johnson would be the pick here. We don't have that. So we have to take just a shitty AJ Brown. And tight end, Tony Gonzalez probably beat out Kyle Pitts. Maybe not. Kyle Pitts' rookie year might have been better. So the team basically scored 2,537.8 points. My high score is like 2,800 or so. The point being is like, you do end up with a lot of RBs in these builds is one thing that kind of occurred to me here. And it's like your greatest years are very often RB years. Now, obviously for that tool, you're looking at longitudinal stuff. So you get like your Priest Holmes year in there. You get your LaDainian Tomlinson, McCaffrey. When you get those two together, you're going to do pretty well in that game. Tight end, you got Gronkowski from the Patriots year. That's going to be pretty good. But like playing that game yesterday for a little bit, I was getting so many RB scores that are better than wide receiver, where you have your Cooper Kupp 430-point year, this is a little bit of pot talk, but your Jamar Chase 400-point year, your CeeDee Lamb 400-point year, even Justin Jefferson hasn't hit 400 points. It makes you appreciate RB a little bit more. See, Larry Johnson, I don't think got to that apex. I think the Priest Holmes apex is a lot higher because Priest Holmes scored, I think, like 450, 470 or something. But yeah, like, I think that balancing your RBs does feel a lot better this year, but also keeping in mind too that true ceiling is really important. So a QB, a lot of the times in that game, you're going to take Josh Allen and his 400 points. Lamar put up 430 once. Jaden put up 360 last year. Like those are some of your better clicks. Peyton Manning had a 410-point year for the Broncos. Getting the Josh Allen points here, this is my main point. Getting the Josh Allen points here, getting the RB points, they kind of go hand in hand with what that game has put in my brain, which is like, yeah, you know what, Chris? You probably overvalue receiver. And that's also for total points format. That's, again, a season worth of scoring. For a single game, RBs and wide receivers spike at similar rates. That's a long-winded way to say we should love our RBs and our elite QBs maybe slightly more. Not so much that you're taking two elite QBs in a draft, but, you know, slightly more. Juwan Jennings is here, continues with our San Francisco bet. Easy click. Jennings, one of my favorite clicks overall. He's come up a little bit in ADP. We're taking him at 58 here. But for Juwan Jennings, still a guy that produced at a really high clip last year, had about a 30% target per route run rate, was a beast for the Niners in a situation where he shouldn't have been. That always stands out to me, guys who really bring it to the next level when you're expecting them to fall off, when you have Pearsall there, when you have obviously more additions than they have this year, you know, more guys who are stalwarts. I hear a crying toddler in the distance. It's always good when the kid's home from daycare, the wife's here, the mother-in-law's here. We got a really fun environment for streaming with just the noises I hear that distract me and my brain. Big Dog Bear really thinking about it. Take Joe Burrow. Take Joe Burrow unstacked. That's a good click for you. He takes Travion Henderson. I'm going to go Chris Godwin here. Get the Tampa Bay double. Chris Godwin, I think we could have made the case to go Romo Dunze here, another guy I like. Probably not a James Conner spot for me because I have the McCaffrey Genty start. But I'll go Tampa Bay vintage double here. We really do want to make sure to get Baker Mayfield. Spending a lot of capital, much like I did in my DraftKings draft, spending a lot of capital at QB with this Josh Allen pick. And if I do take Baker, but for a total points format, I feel like I'll get a lot of QB points and feel good about it. So that's that. RB Piggy. Yeah, I can play the gift though. You know, I feel like in 2025, there's no RB Piggies. We're all just people, you know? But yeah, I'm an RB Piggy. Can't imagine life without multiple running backs up top. So the McCaffrey Genty start, still kind of fun. Robert Griffin III saying it's totally okay to do this. Matthew loving the team so far. Okay. I hope so. I hope it ends up being a good team because sometimes when I move the capital around a little bit more in ways that I don't normally do, it's a spot that's uncomfortable for me. Like I've told you guys, I definitely build similar ways in certain spots where I'll take more RBs in these 3, 4, 5 holes. I'll be kind of balanced on this side of the board, balanced on this side of the board. The 10 spot, I think you can kind of do whatever. So you can get yourself in deep water sometimes. So we'll see. Even Randy Moss, this 25 TDs didn't crack 400. That's true. His famous Patriots year. You're better off taking Gronk's 330 in that game at tight end. It's a fun game, though. I spent a little bit too much time yesterday. Probably spent like an hour playing it. But I learned every player, so I know what the optimal is. The issue is the random part of it. Because it's random, you then don't get, the teams you need every time. But you need Chargers every time. You need, say if you're going to hit the max, Chargers every time. Chiefs for Priest Holmes. Patriots for Gronkowski. Sorry if I'm ruining the fun of it, but I played it for way too long. Just not give you guys the meta for this game that doesn't matter. Cooper Kupp for receiver. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb for receiver, also really good. Lamar for QB. Think that would do it. It was 4:17. I probably could have waited 3 more minutes before I lit it up again, but hey. Happy 420 stream, everybody. If you're tuning in every Thursday on stream, I do this 420 stream just to do something different here in a space that, I feel like everybody, look, a lot of great streamers out there. There are guys that have not been around the space for a decade like I am. And guys like our guy, Emo Cowboy, he does great work across every stream. Check him out in the JJ Zacharyson, becoming a best ball bro series on YouTube. If you want to see our guy, Tyler, who's always been a great part of Splashback community, check it out if you can. I'll see if I can pull a link in a minute. But also for you guys out there, and again, best ball, I think I'm really good at what I do. You watch streams out there, there's a lot of smart people doing drafts. Best Ball Guy does some nice streams. I know he's one of Tyler's buddies, but Fantasy Football Garage also goes by Candyman. Too many nicknames is my issue, but he's been in the community before. He does good streams. Bindles has always done good streams for a while as well. There's a lot of guys that do good best ball streams. The Shoop siblings, don't build the kind of teams that I like so much, but they had a lot of success last year building RB heavy teams. They do good streams. Herzig did a good stream today with ETR. There's a lot of good content out there for best ball. So don't feel like I only want you to watch me. I think it's important to watch other stuff out there. And there's a lot of people that are very smart about it. And unfortunately, we don't know who's the best at it. Liam will say he is. Pat Crane probably deservedly, I think, in my opinion, could say that he is. He could make a claim to be it, even though he hasn't ever had the big win. But there isn't anybody we know who's the best in the space. You could say Herzig, but there's a claim for a lot of people who make great content, who do a good job on the stream. And you have your Davis Maddox, who are just very fun to watch. Good time in the space if you have 24 hours a day to watch best ball streams. Unfortunately, I'm hour 25, but that's how it goes. As a result, I get to smoke joints on stream. It's a real win-win for everybody. We got Khalil Shakir here to round out the receiver room. He is the best version of that Buffalo Bills receiver where there's too many of the same fucking kind with Josh Palmer, with Elijah Moore. But Shakir here, happy to take him. A little bit after ADP too, pick 82. Not mad at that. Let's see what these guys do around the turn. Our guy, I am the KY. Always doing a delightful job. Thank you for burning a like on the stream. I appreciate that, Steel City Blue, along with your support. And if you guys are members too, we do still have some people out there that are members of the YouTube channel but are not on the Discord. Do make sure you click the link down below in the description. Get into the Discord. Good place to talk ball. Good place to talk just guy shit too. We have guys sometimes talking about trying to get laid in there. I'm not in that street, but I support all of you who are. I would love to guide your dicks wherever they could. I'm good at Tinder still. I think I know how that goes. So do we push Baker all the way around to 106? Try to do that. I think it's going to work. Darnell Mooney would make this team pretty nice. Look, I think if we get Baker all the way back around, great. I think it's a nice to have. I don't think we need it here. I think we're better off getting wide receiver 5 in. So I'm going to go Darnell Mooney here. I think we have outs for other QBs besides Baker Mayfield. We're getting the value of the Tampa Bay stack. Baker takes a lot of value away from that team, though. He takes red zone, pass attempts, all that. It's also 420, so I got to fucking light it again. God damn it. Okay. Happy 420, everybody. We did it. Now it's technically 421. Fuck me. There we go. If I'm going to get yelled at by the wife after the stream for doing weed-based content, I got to make it count, guys. I got to make sure I'm adequately inhaling as opposed to just the Bill Clinton inhales. It's going right back out. Almost took Shakir, but didn't want another week 7 bye and making you mad. Thank you, Braden. I appreciate your support. Honestly, I would have been okay if you took Shakir, especially after ADP. And, you guys know at this point, I've said it on stream, the snipe thing, it's a bit, and frankly, was a bit that people started to not get because we got dumber and dumber viewers. So it's a bit I don't do anymore now. So people think it's real. People think I have fucking rage issues because I ham it up on a stream. No. Cool Hand Luke here, eating eggs in jail. No sodomy. That's Cool Hand Luke for you. Cool Hand Shador. He keeps speeding. Anyway, I do think creative thumbnail, not AI, by the way, guys, for this thumbnail. I'll pull it up. Yeah, not the thumbnail I should have used on Juneteenth. I'll admit that. But yeah, we got a police car. We got Shador here. Shador does look. He looks a little crimey. He looks. He looks like he's ready to go down for it. Even though Shador is like the equivalent of like the richest prep school white kid you could think of, getting busted for speeding in his dad's car. Like that's really more Shador here. But I'm aware of the optics. So my apologies. But I hope it's a good Juneteenth for you guys. Really hope you got it off. It is important. I mentioned on the DraftKings stream I did on Stochastic, but like was trying to explain, Juneteenth to Luca because I think it's important he knows, and like hard to do, hard to pull off. We tried, So hope you guys celebrate it. No sodomy, but did insert a thumb in someone's butt last night. Well, I don't think you'd be telling me if it were yourself. So good for you. Good for you. Happy to hear it. Hope you washed it afterwards. Hope you didn't rub your eye afterwards. You saw there was the second speeding ticket this month, right? With a guy looking for a starting job. You think he'd have more of a clue? I mean, again, he's a rich kid. Like he's again, and really important to take the race stuff out of it. But like, this is just what rich people do. Like their kids I went to high school with. I went to a very snooty private school on financial aid because I grew up in the poor part of the Bronx. And I had kids who like had they had Audis in high school. Some kids had multiple cars. There's one kid who had like a Porsche, had like a bunch of like speed racing kind of cars. And he would like drag race in New Jersey. And this is like some dorky Indian kid. Kids are going to do that. When you grew up rich, you're going to do it. Though Zach Edey got busted too. So I think it's just an athlete thing, probably. You go fast off the court. You got to go fast on the court. That's the way that goes. I think, yeah, Shador, it's just the same thing with the NFL draft process. Like he's just, he's in his own world. Even the NFL draft, like celebration thing he had is like, he doesn't fucking know. He's got no sense of awareness besides like influencer, rich guy kind of vibes. Like that's it. That's the only thing he knows. Pick coming up here. All right. Baker came all the way back. Let's push him all the way around one more time. I respect Big Dog Bear and I am the KY too much. I'll just take Baker at the 16 pick discount. So a Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen team. This is feeling like a real frisky drafters team, I got to say. Double elite RB, still have got spike week receivers. We got a concentrated offense that spikes pretty hard. An elite QB in Josh Allen, another QB who if he's beating out Josh Allen, he's probably putting up 30. I am loving this stuff. Mooney on top, Shakir correlated. Shakir not like really as much of a spiky guy if we're going to sell this roster, but PPR Shakir works. Tyler, you missed me giving you a really good plug earlier. I feel like that always happens. You come in after I gave you like this. It's talking so positively about you, but go skim back. Use AI software to find me saying emo cowboy, Tyler. But I do appreciate guys like Tyler. Appreciate all you guys here. I feel like today is like my dream where it's a members only chat. That's so we got. But shout out to all you guys who aren't members. It's never too late. Never too late to join. We got Najee Harris here. We got Keon Coleman here. Okay, we got our 2 early RBs. So I think we can add one more receiver on and not feel bad about it. It's correlated. And like I mentioned, Coleman does something different. Like Shakir, Palmer, Moore, they're all the same dude. They're all, route runners, going to get in space, going to maybe do a little bit after the catch, but mostly going to find holes in his zone. Keon Coleman, if he reaches his true potential, is a go up and get him jump ball guy. His best case scenario would be being Devontae Adams. I don't think it's going to happen. But like he's got more in him, so I'll take that shot here. And for him, his wide receiver 6, theoretically luxury. But really, this RB pocket, I could get any of these guys. I could not get them. I don't feel bad about it. So my team so far, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield at a really nice value because this room is sharp enough that he didn't want to take him unstacked. That worked out to my advantage. Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings. We got Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Darnell Mooney, Keon Coleman. So Buffalo double, Tampa Bay double, McCaffrey and Genty. I mean, if that running back duo hits, this team is really loaded. I've been peeling off some good drafters teams. This is like a very good drafters team, I think. There you go. Shout out Tyler here, hanging out with the pooches. Always nice to hear. Yes, I just say mostly, I'm telling you to rewind so you can hear me speak nicely about you because I feel like it's like being at your own funeral. It's like, what would people say about me when I die? For Tyler, I'd say he did some really good best ball streams, adds value to every community he's a part of. As a Cowboys fan, Deion was my idol until that day. Oh, hey, dear. Hey, Spags, hope as well. Glad to see Crazy Ivan. You've rebranded Ivan as Crazy Ivan. You sound more like a guy selling electronics now, but glad to see you here. Easy Mountain Man made it. Love to hear you making it. I'll, of course, be sparking up a little bit more, guys, but I've smoked most of the joints. I'm trying to keep it so I have some for the back end here. Made it to the stream. What's my ownership looking like? I don't know on drafters. Very heavy on Tyjae Spears on every platform, I think. Let's see. Can you see exposure on drafters? I can. See my drafters exposure so far. 39% DeAndre Swift, 33% Keon Coleman. That's a lot. 28% Christian Kirk, 28% Sean Tucker. Again, I've only done about 20 drafts on drafters, so not terribly surprised. Chris Olave, Juwan Jennings, McBride, all these guys about 20% on. Jalen Warren, Chris Godwin. I mean, nobody I dislike here. We get more Jaden Daniels than I'm getting on Underdog and DraftKings for sure. Find it hard to pay that price tag on there. These are my exposures. Nothing surprising to me. And I think still pretty flat. The Swift stand surprises me a little bit, but I think he's cheap on every platform. And I could see how, for me, he feels like a very draftersy click because I think he's going to give you reliable points all season, and then he's going to give you the occasional 25, I'm hoping, to 30-pointer. A little bit surprised to see that much Swift, though. I will say that. But got a lot of time to correct it if I have 150 max. That's not sure. Not sure if I will, but I would still like to. But just not sure if I'm able to achieve that. We got to get some RBs coming up here. RBs coming off the board pretty hot and heavy. We're losing some of the guys in this range I like. Tyjae Spears goes at 121. Great click by that guy. But Spears, definitely my bailout entourage backs, I would call him. Part of a rotation we're trying to hit. Woof. The Tootin' Jaden Blue range. Not for me. Not for me. Make your pick, team Skank. Taking the whole clock here. Thought I'd be able to get Tootin' out of the way. What's he doing? Is he taking Tootin'? No, he took Eckler. Eckler at 129. I get it. I think Tootin' and Jaden Blue are just holding on to their pre-draft people wanting to jerk off every rookie kind of situation there. Eckler was really good last year. I don't think he should be quite this high. I get it. Interesting click by Team Skanko. I think it's in the chat. Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, who else would we take above Eckler? Rashad White, I think he and Eckler, not dissimilar bets, though Eckler's probably got a more guaranteed role. Benson, not a dissimilar bet. Just really don't like Jaden Blue that much. Do we have to take Kincaid? Might want to take Kincaid here as well. I'm going to go Benson. Actually, no. I'm going to go Rashad White. No Bucky bet here. We've got a Tampa Bay bet. I think Rashad White, we saw him have pretty good production game scripts where they were Baker dominant ones playing from behind. So I think Rashad White makes sense in the build with Baker. As RB4, would prefer him as an RB5, would prefer Tootin' as an RB4 or not on my team. But I can live with this. Thank you, Matthew. Ray Davis. Yeah, I'm not huge on Ray Davis. I think now that there's no, I mean, he would have correlated, so maybe that would have made sense too. If I had gone Ray Davis and White, would have gotten more correlated bets to hit. That could work on drafters, I think, especially with that total points format. I'm just not huge on Ray Davis this year. I feel like the price tag to me, especially on the other sites, a little bit too steep. Here, if he's going to hang around to the 150s or 140s, great. But even with that 133 ADP, it's a little bit high for me. I think the price tag for him reflected a world where James Cook was going to hold out and you at least had a shot at him coming up a little bit more. People started to get excited about him. With James Cook not holding out and realizing he's got no leverage, I just don't know that Ray Davis is in a much better situation this year. Let's look up his usage from last year because I think that is something interesting. Negative 0.07 EPA per rush, not great, but could be worse. 17% avoided tackle rate. Better than average, not great though for a guy who's not playing a ton of snaps. 1.3 red zone rushes a game, that surprises me. 0.1 red zone targets a game, it's not a lot. Ty Johnson probably gets more of that. You honestly, Ray Davis had more red zone work than I realized though. 1.3 a game is not bad for a rookie, so if he gets to 2 to 3 this year, and James Cook put up 3 red zone rushes, 0.3 red zone targets. You have Josh Allen there. He would need to shave some away from James Cook, probably. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not crazy about Ray Davis, I guess. Would be the end point of that. But guys, if you can, show some love, hit the like button, subscribe. Again, this is our special Thursday 420 draft. I am sure my content is failing slightly relative to the usual here because of that. But it's, again, just trying to do something different here. Tomorrow, though, is our big 3. We're doing a draft on Underdog, DraftKings, Drafters, of course, all the big tournaments competing for $4.5 million in total. It's about $4.5 million in total tomorrow. So that's the big main event of the week. Today, the Tuesday and Thursday streams, more of a casual kind of, let's talk some ball here. Let's try to be a little bit silly. But tomorrow will be all about business here. I am deep in my BBM drafts. I got 52 done, I think, already. So I've got a pretty good exposure pool there that I might need to start being mindful of. Very Tyjae Spears, a dominant pool for sure. We need tight ends here, looking like a tight end rich pocket, no matter which tight end we get. We got some RBs, some playable receivers as well. So we got flexibility. At this point, certainly RB tight end most appealing. Tucker Kraft, now a 20 pick ADP value. Am I sniping any of these guys here? No? All right, I'm doing Tucker Kraft too. Tucker Kraft, first tight end. I'm going to hope these guys don't take Dalton Kincaid and I can get him on the way back. I would have considered taking Kincaid there if one of those guys had Love, because I think then that guy maybe would snipe me back and I wouldn't get Kincaid. But I'm hoping that I can get both tight ends here and just be, if not done at tight end, mostly done at tight end. Team is really slapping. Thank you. Everybody loves Raymond except Spags. It's true. It's true. All right, this guy took Dallas Goedert. That's fine. I am the KY's got Mark Andrews. He takes Kyle Pitts. I thought this would be neat. There's so many tight ends to go around that I don't think anybody needs Dalton Kincaid. This guy's already got Tyler Warren a couple rounds ago. If he takes Kincaid, I won't be mad about it, but I think that was the right way to play that no matter what. And I think you could take Tank Bigsby as well with Tootin. If these guys hit, they're not going to hit the same way. Tootin's not going to be your goal line back. You got stuffed one of the highest rates of any rookie coming out. Don't time out on Kincaid. All right, thank God. I maybe sweated a little bit. You might be watching the stream. Dalton Kincaid here, our second tight end. So we're feeling good about the team, I think. We got Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. At RB, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty. So 2 RBs to start. Definitely does deserve a brief flash of the RB piggy gif, even though, again, it's 2025. We embrace people of all kinds here. Bashal Tootin behind Genty and McCaffrey. Rashad White as well. Then a receiver, we got Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Darnell Mooney, Keon Coleman. So stacked up receivers in addition to Mooney and Juwan Jennings. And then tight end, Tucker Kraft, Dalton Kincaid. Still need more at every position besides QB, but I'm liking how this is going. I think this was the right way to do this. Oh, I could expand this. Oh, wow. I didn't realize you could make it go this far. Is that new? Or if I just never clicked that button before? I don't think you guys need that many rounds necessarily. I'll give you a few more rounds. Hey, it's a treat. You guys get a few more rounds. Let's celebrate by lighting this joint again and killing it in round 15. All right. That was good. That was a plume. We're doing it here. Got to say though, I think I've always been a pretty good drafter. I do think this year I'm building teams that are much more balanced, but also are still giving me enough receiver upside. I think this team's a pretty good testament to it, where it took 3 deviations early, but you're talking about an Evans, Jennings, Godwin, Shakir, Mooney top 5. I think that's good. And then having Coleman as 6, I think that plays. It's not, it's not Jamar Chase. It's not Justin Jefferson. We're going to lose some points to those guys in a total points format, but it's just like not far behind it, I don't think. It resets to default when I'm on the clock. Oh no, that's it. Always been there. Okay. Fuck me. I didn't know. Ideal 420 team: Ricky Williams, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Gordon, Randy Moss. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is smoking weed. He's more like doing the Elon ketamine, I think, vibes a little bit more. I mean, obviously the ayahuasca is the one he's famous for, but I think he's more doing the mind altering stuff. Well, not that weed's not mind altering, but it's not really. You're probably not going to do shrooms or ketamine, and maybe you would do ketamine and drive a car. I don't know. I haven't done ketamine. I can't tell you. In my opinion, you're probably not going to do ketamine and drive a car. You're also apparently going to have bladder issues a lot, what I've heard. He is in and out of the spirit world. That's true. He's doing things that are created by fairies. He's doing things, special flowers like the beast flower in Beauty and the Beast. He's cutting that up and storing it. That's what Aaron Rodgers is doing. And playing the site for 3 years, still haven't found the exposure tab. So that's that. It's under your player name. It's on the homepage. Here, we could do a little tutorial for drafters because I just did this myself. All right, so here we're back. All right, we're on the drafters lobby here. We're going to click my name. Then right here, you'll see player exposures is behind my thing, but it's under your name. On the app, it's on the side menu thing here. And then there's your player exposures, and you can click it. So it's not in the same kind of spot as Underdog or, like, I guess, DraftKings as well, but it's there. We're on the clock, and the screen did automatically shrink, so that was all correct. RB's pretty dog shit at this point. Jalen Wright, contingent value, does correlate for week 17 with Tampa Bay. Now that matters on drafters, we'll go Jalen Wright here. I'm just adding some volume at RB at this point because I feel like my top 6 at receiver, if not impeccable, pretty good. Pretty good. Fucking huge. There we go. Happy to help. I know things occasionally. 0 shot. You can drive and do ketamine. Lucky if you can move. Okay, good to know. So that's, again, I have no experience. I don't like to talk out of things that are out of my realm of experience. I appreciate that from Gabe Davis, who's currently in free agency. He's got some time on his hands. He can do some ket. You can get in touch with himself. Do some ketamine therapy, hopefully, not just, doing the drug for funsies. K-Dot already went. No, he's hanging around still. I don't think Gesicki'd be a bad tight end click here, though. Diami Brown gives us some more Jacksonville. Nick Chubb, another RB. I like Diami Brown. I'm cool with him. Diami Brown in round 16 feels kind of nuts. I get why. Especially if people think Hunter's not going to play enough snaps. Like, I certainly would understand why they would think that he's a good click. For Diami Brown, I still think he's going to be mostly your gimmick guy. He's not going to be guaranteed a ton of touches. But, it's okay. Let's give this team a read. My 18's drafters draft, my 18's stream drafters draft as well. They've all been streamed so far. We got Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. At RB, Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty, Bashal Tootin, Rashad White, and Jalen Wright here. We got, if it ain't White, it ain't right. It's not what we say on Today of All Days. But unfortunately, that's the way we drafted. Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Darnell Mooney, Keon Coleman, Diami Brown. The tight end, big value on Tucker Kraft. What was that, 20 picks or 30 picks of value? I think it was 20. It's about 18 picks of value, 18 and a half on Tucker Kraft. Dalton Kincaid, a little bit of value, right? Yeah, 16 picks of value on Kincaid. We're doing okay for ourselves. It's a nice draft, man. I know it's an ad. Look, I'll put up the drafters thing here. Go to drafters.com, download the drafters app, use the promo code SPLASH. That is the way to support the show and the way to make sure that drafters pays me and is happy with what we're doing. And we can do it the rest of the summer. So do that. But number two is like, I'm building really good teams on drafters, and I do it distracted here. Like I make myself incredibly distracted for these drafters drafts with the joint, with talking to you guys, with trying to be somewhat entertaining / hopefully insightful, somewhere in between both, ideally. But like on drafters, it's just I've won with teams drafted on stream, and in particular with playoff basketball last year, drafting only 3 teams, all of them on stream, and winning and finishing top 10 and winning a couple grand. Like, I just don't think you can do that on other platforms. I really strongly believe that. So for you guys out there, that's the biggest sell I can give you for drafters. Play on there, give yourself a shot to win some money. I know most of you guys are watching the stream. You're already on there, but if you're not, do check it out because it is a good site. And I do think if you know the basics of best ball, you're just going to get carried a little bit further than you would normally. So then it's so slight to play on other sites. Like I've drafted a lot of Underdog this year. I think their platform's probably the least good it's been in a while. But still, like, the tournament structures I like. The schnauzers have been fun. Slow drafts have been good. Drafted more on DraftKings this year, but I think it's important to have a well-balanced diet of best ball sites. Sounds so stupid to say that. And I would say drafters should be a part of it. Like, if you told me my biggest payday was on drafters this year, I wouldn't be surprised by it at this point. So that's what I'd say. Thank you, Matthew. Great vibes only. Hit that like button, subscribe. Yes, especially if you have good vibes, join the Discord as well. Just join the YouTube channel. You'll be added automatically. If you want to get my rankings, you can join one of the higher tiers. Those are still updated as well if you want to get that. But yeah, join the site, do some stuff. We got Brashard Smith here. Do I never take? If ever there were a day to take it, this might be it. Dante Thornton's coming up, huh? So 7.6 ADP. He's probably going to win your outside receiver job when Trey Tucker's not out there. For these guys, I don't really think there's an appreciable difference. So I'm going to go Elijah Moore here. Get it out of the way. We've got 20 rounds, so I maybe could have pushed Elijah Moore further. But at this point, when you have Dante Thornton, Tyler Lockett, Roman Wilson on the top of the board, no guarantee Elijah Moore would come back. So we've got the Buffalo mega stack besides Josh Palmer. So we've got Josh Allen and James Cook as well is going to be a key part of things. But Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. At RB, we got our 2 early ones with McCaffrey, Ashton Genty. We got Bashal Tutin, Rashad White, Jalen Wright. Would like to add a little more at RB after this because I feel like we spent more than enough capital at receiver now. But at receiver, we have Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Darnell Mooney, Keon Coleman, Diami Brown, and Elijah Moore. Tight end, Tucker Kraft, Dalton Kincaid, Cade Otton. Honestly, I think a 4th tight end could work if there's any good ones left, which there might not be. 6th RB, I think very much in play. Another receiver would also be fine. I think Curtis Samuel's time is done, if I had to guess. He could bounce back, I guess, but his usage was like dog shit last year, if I'm remembering correctly. Curtis Samuel. 22% target per run for Curtis Samuel. Really bad EPA per target. Negative 0.27 EPA per target. 0.4 red zone targets a game. That's not bad. 0.3 deep targets a game. Honestly, he got more usage than I would have thought. Not a lot of routes per game. Only 27 snaps, 15 routes. I would worry his routes immediately go to Elijah Moore, but he could get schemed some stuff. In a 20-round draft, sure. In an 18-round draft, I wouldn't do it, I don't think. But honestly, not a bad question. They still have Laviska Shenault on the roster, right? I think they added him too. I'd worry that he does some things that are pretty similar as well in terms of like gimmicky kind of run adjacent stuff. Yeah, Laviska is on the Bills currently. I don't know if that'll last, but he is currently on the Bills. Elijah Moore's gotten good camp reports, though. He's apparently been one of the better route runners there, one of the better target earners. So, I would go Elijah Moore personally. We got our last 2 picks coming up here. We could call it a day. Nobody too sexy on the board at this point. Audric Estime. I mean, they said he's going to get touches, And I really, RJ Harvey, man, I really hate the addition of Dobbins for him. I've not been an RJ Harvey buyer, so you could couch that ever you want. There's only so much work to go around. And Estime, I think, is going to be a better rusher in year 2 than Harvey is in year 1. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. I try not to cough. I don't agree with this. I don't think Estime is dead. One more tight end. Noah Gray for free. Cole Kmet for free. Cole Kmet's still in the hunt. Nothing we want to stack. I'm not going to do Dawson Knox, but I think Cole Kmet works. It's the final team here. Let's read it this way. We got Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield at QB. At RB, we got Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Jency, Bashal Tootin, Rashad White, Jalen Wright, Audric Estime. No, that's not true. Bidet is not better than Estime. That's silly. They're different backs entirely. Wide receiver, we got Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin. Bidet, though, did have a lot of Senior Bowl hype. I remember that when I was still at Football Outsiders. The guys there loved Bidet, but then he ended up not really getting drafted, and I was like, these guys don't know shit at least about the fancy stuff we're looking for. Wide receiver, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Khalil Shakir, Darnell Mooney, Keon Coleman, Diami Brown, and Elijah Moore. And a tight end, Tucker Kraft, Dalton Kincaid, Cade Otton, Cole Kmet. Two kinds of Cades here. Kincaid, Cade Otton. That's that, but I like to see him. I think Matthew, I appreciate Matthew backing me up the entire stream, loving the team. I think it's a strong one. I think the RB room, again, our top 2 is so good. It really doesn't matter what we put behind that, because if the top 2 doesn't hit, we're fucked. But, oh man, I was glad that was still lit. But I think that, that room gives me some upside, gives me some outs. As maybe in the goal line back, like the Chargers didn't love using Dobbins as the goal line back. So I think that's a possibility. I like to see him. I got to go do family stuff, I guess. So I can take a few more minutes if we have any more chats or questions. Top 100 team right here. Thank you, Mr. Mufasa. I appreciate that. We have an NBA prop. We had one that was on unabated stuff. I'll pull it up for you. Why not? For our guy Chunk. And I think unabated's regular data's out as well. So let's switch over here. Share this tab. Let's use their special projections. PRAs. There you go. Caruso under 16.5 PRAs, 7.6% EV. Oh, it stopped. It got unlit. You can see the screen. Favorite debated though. Dude. See that. Aaron Wiggins, 8.5 PRAs. The over on that, 5% EV on FanDuel, looking pretty good. Lou Dort, over 12.5 here. That's looking pretty good. Some NBA props. If you want to play the showdown, check out my NBA video from earlier in the day. That'd be my recommendation. But do check out Drafters. Again, Drafters does support me just doing me content on here, which I appreciate a bunch. Without me having to put on false airs. It's nice to be able to do a stream like this, just talk to you guys and be a real person. So please hit the like button down below, but also check out Drafters. Promo code SPLASH, $100 deposit match on there. Join the Discord as well. $5 to join. You can join the community as well. Hear great takes for free from guys like Tyler, Emo Cowboy in the chat. I'm going to promote him as part of promoting my own shit. But do join down below. It's really nice to have a community to talk about football with and not have to deal with any of the assholes, because it's all people who kind of self-selecting. So if you join the channel, the cheapest tier, $5 to join, you get in there. Just click the link in the description. You'll be added automatically. And gamble more responsibly, guys, even though it is always money time here on this channel. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Just going to smoke the ash here at the bottom. All right, we're good. We're good. But appreciate all you guys hanging out here. Tomorrow, the three-way, the tri-triathlon, Underdog, BBM, DraftKings, Millie Maker, Drafters, Main Event Championship again. Come play along with me on those. Sign up for Drafters in the meantime so you can draft me tomorrow. Happy to have as many of you in these rooms as we want because there's no pods, so we're not fucking each other over quite as much as you are. If you want to be in my Underdog, my DraftKings rooms, I don't really care that much at this point. Just don't do all of them. But for Drafters, the more the merrier here, especially when it comes to filling rooms here on stream. So come play along with me tomorrow. And shout out to the chat. Very lively chat today. Appreciate all you guys got him. Yes, smoke me if you got him. Do appreciate all you guys being splashed out with your cock out. I hope not. I hope not. But I'll see you guys again soon. So see you tomorrow, in fact. Enjoy your days, guys. Enjoy your Juneteenth. If you don't know what it is, try to know what it is. I think that's an important thing no matter what, even though I'm the idiot who knew what it was and made this thumbnail today. And I'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy your days and good luck and bye-bye and happy Juneteenth. Bye.